FNSC. Let me give you a brief profile. Engineer Dr. Funmilayo Waheed Adekojo is the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Funmilayo Nigeria Limited, founder Funmilayo Humanity Foundation, a native of Arigidi, Akoko, in Akoko North Local Government area of Ondo State. She attended St. Thomas Primary School in Ikare, Akoko, Mount Carmel Secondary School in Ikare, and Omolere Secondary School, Agbagi, Akoko, where she obtained her primary school leaving certificate and senior secondary school certificate, respectively. Engineer Dr. Funmilayo attended the Ladoke Akintola University of Technology, Ogbomosho, and Oyo State, and graduated with a Bachelor of Technology in Mechanical Engineering with a second class honor upper division. She got an honorary doctorate degree of philosophy in public administration from University Protestant in Republic of Benin, and also an honorary doctorate degree of science in public and organization leadership from the European American University in the Republic of Panama. She is a member of different professional groups, including the Fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. She has a certificate from the Mechanical Engineers with the Member of Council of the Registrations of Engineering in Nigeria, Fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Mechanical Engineers, Fellow of International Management Consultants, Fellow of International Management Specialist in the UK, Fellow of Association of Professional Women Engineers of Nigeria. She has also bagged different awards also, including a very, very interesting one, which is West Africa Gospel Music Awards 2021 as the Best Inspirational Song of Year 2020 to 2021. Numerous awards in our profile, quite a number of them, and she's also a philanthropist also. But a lot of things are on our profile. Welcome to the program once again. I mean, that is a lot on your profile. I mean, I can't go through everything right now. But then, first of all, I want to understand, I mean, being a woman, why did you decide to go into the field of engineering? Was it by mistake, or you decided to go on this journey?
There's nothing like by mistakes, because being an engineer or reading engineering course as a profession is something that is unique. I've just said that if you are fortunate to be an engineer or to be in any of these engineering cadre that in quote professions, you will say that that is the best thing ever that any being on earth could ever go for. So to me, as an engineer, mechanical engineer, that I say right now, I will tell you that it is never a mistake. It is the best thing ever that's ever happened. So
you were intentional about going into that field, and looking at the fact that, you know, a lot of people will talk about the fact that you know, as a lady, or, you know, this sort of African mentality, why not do something in the humanities, and you decide to go for you know, into the field of science and engineering, you know, itself, and now being a professional, looking at the field of mechanical and being a mechanical engineer. Tell me more about being a mechanical engineer. What's the difference between, you know, the regular engineers or other field of engineering and the field of mechanical engineering?
Thank you so much. You know, everybody where you grow up, you want to be either medical doctor or you want to go and do lawyer. I think at that time that was actually the reigning thing, and as just one of them, I also wanted to be a medical doctor. And then but here we are today. I am blessed to have the best course ever. Then being a mechanical engineer is, you know, permits me all engineers to say that mechanical engineering is the father and mother of all engineering, because we are just the creative aspect of engineering to better the humankind, you know, to give comfort to every sector of any being on earth. What do I mean by that? As a mechanical engineer, if you want to work as a medical doctor, you definitely need your stethoscope, your needle, and all that. That is being done by a mechanical engineer. If you want to travel, you need transport, whatever you call it, aeroplane or vehicles, whatever it is in form of transportation, is being done by mechanical engineering. Even as we're seated, look at the furnitures, it's being done by mechanical engineering. I just said that mechanical engineering actually have the touch. There's nothing about this life that mechanical engineering, even what you are doing right now, even the media, what you use right now is being done by mechanical engineering. Look at the building. Thank kudos to the structural and the civil engineers, but remember, all these beams you have here right now is being done by mechanical engineering. So I would say we happen to be the father
of all other forms. Okay, I mean that's quite an interesting one. Looking at the fact that even being a woman, you can go to the zenith of this career, being an engineer. Right now, since our target audience are the students in secondary school and those seeking admission into university, how would you motivate them? I mean, if we were to advise the 16-year-old you, the 13-year-old you, what would you say to motivate that kind of individual, either male or female, to pursue career in engineering?
Okay, talking to our children right now, I think that's what the program is meant for. Is to tell you that whatever is worth doing at all is worth doing well. First of all, you cannot just wake up in the morning and say, I want to be an engineer. Man, it's hard work. It is not a jeko or what they want to call it now thing. What it actually means is that from the beginning of your life, even from the primary school, you need to actually take it serious, like your mathematics. Those are the major thing because of the innovations. Engineering is about creativity, innovation, inventions. Everything you have to learn in mathematics, the analytical aspect of mathematics, you need to be able to implement in the real world when you get to the reality of it. So I would just advise them that from the beginning of their life, they have to take those homework very seriously. They have to take attending to school very, very seriously. Then they have to also take, generally their life very serious. That if you have to be good in your math, in your English, in your basic science at primary school level, then when you get to the secondary school, you just have to be good in your physics, your chemistry, then your math and English, because as an engineer, you must be able to communicate. You'll be able to communicate very well. So that means your English must be very sound. Then when it comes to your mathematics, you cannot even do without it. I will even encourage them to go further, to do further maths, because whatever it is, some of them always on the way from further maths, they believe that once they have the basic mathematics, they are okay. But by the time you now face this thermodynamics, fluid mechanics, and all that, you realize that maybe you had you're privileged to have further maths in your primary, secondary school level. It's going to be like something very easy for you to tackle when you get to the institution. Then I will tell you again, as our children, if you are ever confused of whatever you want to read, I want to do an engineering, but I'm not good in physics, I'm not good in math. There is nobody that become an engineer today that's actually good in anything. It is called determination. You just have to be determined. I want to do this. Then, if you decide I want to do this, then the next thing I will tell you is that whatever it takes to do it, give it to it.
So it's about the determination. It's not like you wake up in the morning and you just have all of the intellect and of being an engineer.
There is no professor. There is no one born as a professor. Even there is no one born today as engineer, Mrs. Waheed. It's a process. They have to go through the process. And what does that mean? Those times you use in talking, gossiping, testing, chatting, all those things, even though they're very important. Even with the phone you are holding, still an engineering. So if you actually want to be one of them that want to contribute to the development or whatever it is about life today, if you go to the phone you are pressing, please drop the phone and quickly pick your book. Read. Reading makes life. Reading makes you. When you give it everything it takes to get there, believe me, you can do it.
Okay, and right now I also want to ask, because a lot of there's this misconception about you thinking of being an engineer, it's quite expensive, or we don't have that much of exposure in the country, so would I really get a job? Would I really see a good contract? A lot of people believe that, let me just go and play football, I'm going to make a lot of money, like some athletes in the UK. Is that really, can you really make a lot of money in this industry if you're good?
If there's any course today or any profession today in Nigeria that pays you well, that put this thing called money into your pocket, is engineering. Because as an engineer, you are not stereotyped. You are not, this thing called invention is an inborn thing. You are not, let me just set an example right now. As a medical doctor, if he's not treating a patient, maybe he's resting. But as an engineer, you can diversify. Okay, I will use myself. I will not go far. I will use myself as an example. As a mechanical engineer, I'm a music artist.
I still want to go to that aspect of you, though.
I'm an MD of a firm. What I mean by MD of a firm, of an engineering firm that can work as a civil engineer. as a mechanical engineer, as an electrical engineer, as a QS, quantity survey, I can work as an architect. So if you are an engineer, there is nothing called poverty around you. In fact, let me just say that every other profession can be poor, but an engineer can never be poor. Because from the beginning of the course, you're already built to be rugged. You're already built to know how to diversify. You're already built to be creative. You're already built to be yourself, to create your world in your environment. So I can be an engineer and still be a teacher. I can be an engineer and still be a philanthropist. I can be an engineer and still be so many things you can never imagine. So I would say that the profession that pays so well, that pays you more, that the fact that even guarantee your future, is an engineering profession.
Okay, I think that's also one of the things, you know, our viewers, especially the children at home listening to us, should, you know, take a cue from the fact that you can always diversify and be able to do other things at the same time. But then, talking about doing other things at the same time, now, how are you able to really manage the fact that you have music is your hobby, or do you want to take it as a career also at the same time? Because a lot of people believe that, okay, since I love music, I should just focus on that alone. I can't do other things, but you have been able to do both at the same time.
That can only be done as an engineer. Yeah. If you just assuming that this woman right now actually studied music, then I would be so stereotyped to just be doing music. But being an engineer, you see, the time, okay, let me just say that one of the things engineering does is that it makes you manage your time effectively. Time management, you should just look for an engineer and learn time management from the person. Because we manage, when it comes to management, not even time alone, every sector of our life, everything you can imagine called life, an engineer knows how to manage it. Imagine being a mother, being a good wife, being a practicing professional, and I am still doing music. It shows that, it can only be an engineering, because the time I will use to do other things are not necessary. And engineers will not waste time, will not even be there. You can't find, I don't think you can find any engineer gossiping or doing, essentially, or maybe every weekend you're just there to do one bit. And engineers, we still enjoy life, believe me. We still have that good life. But we manage it so well that none of these things disturb each other.
Okay, so if you do want to go into this field, it's important for you to focus on your career. That career is important for you. It's not about going from one party to another. But then, as we sort of round up right now, what would be your other advice, especially to parents also? Because some parents believe that, why do you want to go and do this? Just do something easy, just go for one course. Because a lot of people will be like, it is hard to get into uni because of the cutoff mark. You can't just stay at home 1 year, 2 years. How would you advise the parents also to sort of, help their children to be able to achieve their dreams if they do intend to go into the field of engineering?
This is very sensitive, because it's high time we start talking to our parents. Parents should study their kids very well. You don't force your kids to do a course because your neighbor's child or this one is actually into the course. I want every parent to know that if your child has made up his or her mind to go for engineering, please study the creativity aspect of that child. If your child is a type that likes to dismantle all the radio in the house to just see what is inside, if you force such a child to go and do civil engineering, you are wasting the child's skills. That is telling you already that this is an electrical engineer in the house. If your child is interested in knowing what is in your car all the time, your AC is bad, you're just trying to solve it, that's a mechanical engineer in the making. And if your child just like to pick a brick to put his leg inside and be molding, that is a civil engineer. So I would just say that parents study your skills, what the child likes to do more. Take your time, don't be too busy pursuing what is not. Just study your children, then put them right. Put them right. That's just it.
Okay, then thank you very much. But before we go right now, I also want to look at the fact that you're well traveled, you're quite exposed. How would you grade the way engineers have been trained here in Nigeria to abroad? I mean, you schooled here in the country, but also you do have a doctorate degree from abroad also. Is it more tedious here, or is it easier for the people abroad?
I will tell you that it's more tedious in Nigeria than abroad, because abroad is just a communication. I can be in my house communicating with my supervisor, and I may even need to see him. But here in Nigeria, you'll be in class. Nigeria is just victims of leadership. If not, Why is it that when we go out there, we become the best student ever? It's because of the rigorous exercise, the rigorous training we've gotten in Nigeria. And I can tell you, if there's any best education ever you can imagine, in quotes, outside the problem of Nigeria right now, I think Nigerian scholars is just the best.
Okay, so it's not necessarily, so if you have been trained here, you can easily go abroad and be the best. So you don't necessarily need to.
I'll tell you with an example. In my company right now, we have an architect from USA. We had to put him down to even learn what is called AutoCAD. The 100 level, 200 level engineering student here knows how to do. Closing their heart, you can do 3 dimensions. He just used to doing it on computer. So I sincerely, I give kudos to Nigerian education. It's just that it is well with us.
Because, I mean, the mentality to a large extent is, oh, you want to study this, you need to go abroad. We don't have the resources here, so you need to go abroad to do that, but you are able.
When they come back here, they still need to go to some training to be able to effectively perform. But when I leave Nigeria and I go out there, apart from this mentality of she's from Nigeria, I can function effectively without even looking at my dear books. Yeah. Okay. So parents, there's no do or die in this. Let them study in Nigeria.
Okay, thank you very much for that. But then before we do go right now, we do have a question. If you are watching us right now, I want you to send in your question through our social media platform. And if you do get the questions correctly, you'll be getting something. You'll be getting a prize for doing that. So the first question is, at what point is the temperature in Fahrenheit and Celsius equal? At what point in the temperature and is the temperature of Fahrenheit and Celsius equal? And the second one is, which scientific principle is used in sailing ship on the sea? Which scientific principle is used in sailing ship on the sea? So these are the 2 questions. Let us know if you do get the question, send it in, and we would let you know if you do win. So thank you very much for being a part of the program. But before we do go on, say a very big thank you once again to our guest in the studio today, Engineer Dr. Mrs. Funmilayo Waheed Adekojo, FNSC. We do appreciate you coming to the studio today.
Thank you so much. Just in addition, if there's any girl child out there, any female child that actually get this question correctly, have a gift for Fumi and Ike.
Okay. I think yes, we will let you know.
Thank you.
We will let you know. Thank you very much for being a part of the program once again. Don't forget that this program is actually sponsored by Prince Engineer Yemisi Shilon in conjunction with the Nigerian Society of Engineers, the Abeokuta branch. Thank you very much for watching. I am Olayinka Shudunke. Until next week, bye for now.
Born on December 11, 1938 in Oyugba, Akwa Ibom State, Engineer Dr. Edet James Amana attended Methodist College, Uzuakoli, and King's College, Lagos, before proceeding to Imperial College, where he attained his BSc in Civil Engineering, first-class honors in 1963 to 1964, and PhD in Structural Engineering later. On graduation, he worked as a senior engineer in the consulting office of Flint and Neil and Sir Bruce Whiteworth Barry and Partners Consulting Engineers, both in London between 1966 and 1969. He worked in the UK and was in general civil and structural engineering design and consultancy. Notable among his projects are the 1,000 feet Crystal Palace television mast, that is in 1966 to 1968, and his prize-winning design of the Temporary Flyover London. He was also involved in the design of port and harbour works, including the Port of Dammam. From 1969 to 1972, he was senior engineer with Shell BP Petroleum Development Company Limited, where he applied his experience to the design of civil engineering facilities for the oil industry. Dr. Amana left Shell BP in 1972 to found the firm of Amana Consortium Limited. The firm has handled the engineering studies, design, and contract supervision of various roads, highways, bridges, building structures all over the country. He was on the team which prepared the Abuja Transportation Master Plan, and his company was responsible for the transportation studies for the Niger Delta Integrated Regional Master Plan. Engineer Dr. Amana was a member of the Nigerian Society of Engineers Committee for the design of the second Niger Bridge between Asaba and Onitsha. He became a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers in 1981. He is a fellow of Nigerian Institute of Management and fellow of Institute of Directors and a foundation fellow and past president of the Nigerian Academy of Engineering. Engineer Dr. Amana is a past president of Association of Consulting Engineers Nigeria. He has been honored by several organizations for his professional achievements, including Merit Awards by Nigerian Society of Engineers, Uyo and Calabar branches, and the Nigerian Society of Engineers 50th Anniversary Distinguished Merit Award. He was honored with an honorary doctorate degree in engineering by the University of Uyo. He is a recipient of Nigeria's national honor and decorated with the rank of Officer of the Order of the Niger, OON.
This week in history, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, a former Nigerian Minister of Finance and the incumbent Director General of the World Trade Organization, was born on the 13th of June, 1954.